There's a lot.
Okay, yeah. I think our meeting is live on the forum. So, hello everyone. Hi, welcome to the STEMPeers uh, at High Fives. We just came online. We are still waiting for Argo from Kolkata to join us, but we have Chavi, who is one of our STEMPeers fellows here. So before we get on talking to her, I just wanted to present some of the aspects of STEMPeers, what has been happening in the 5 years and how the fellowships came about. So I just wanted to share my screen. I think there is some issue with the screen sharing. Please bear with us. We're still figuring things out. In the meantime, while we figure things out here, we have been joined by Orgo from Kolkata. Hi, Orgo, welcome.
Hello.
Hi.
Nice to see you.
Yeah. Hello, Chavi. How are you doing?
Hi, Argo. I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, good. My primary concern is, am I audible properly? Yeah. Can you hear me properly?
It's a bit noisy.
Yeah. So internet connection is very fluctuating here, so I have nothing to do with this.
No, that's fine. It's fine. It's okay. Yeah, we are having some technical glitches to start the presentations that we prepared. So yeah, I apologize to the people watching us. We while we figure it out, please bear with us. Yeah, it's not there yet. Okay, so we are back. Thank you for your patience. We figured things out. It takes time. We are still technically challenged. Can't help it. We are PhDs, but that's it. That's how it is. So yeah. So welcome, Chavi and Argo. We are happy to have you here, and we have really been honored by the work that you did in the past 1 year. And thank you for finding time to share it with the rest of the STEMPeers Facebook forum. So before we go ahead, I just wanted to introduce the organization to the Facebook forum and the fellowships of how they came about, and then we'll transition into talking about what you guys are doing. Chavi will go first, and then Argo will talk about his work. Um, so. So hi. So we are starting to share our fifth anniversary with all of you, and as a part of this, we decided that this year we will bring the volunteers, the leaders who are running the platform for the past 5 years and who are actively bringing content to all of you to support your career development, and as well as share information, as well as support their own career development in this process. So before we begin talking about that, I just wanted to talk about the evolution of 5 years. Um, as you can see, some of you who have been around for the past 5 years, they know that from a small Facebook group of less than 500, we started on July 22nd, to more than 1,600 people we have today. It has been a long journey for an even longer one. But one of the best things that recently happened was that our organization was featured in Nature Biotech with some of the greatest and oldest educational institutions of the world for career development of grad students and postdocs. So cheers to all of you for all the support that you have given us in the past 5 years, and that has led to this achievement. Um, so the question which a lot of people might be having who are new to the forum or don't know much about this organization other than what is happening in the discussions on the Facebook group is how did this evolution happen? So we always say that it is a very organic development, but at the same time, I would like to acknowledge a lot of people who were involved, who that led us to take a lot of series of conscious leadership decisions, which encouraged people development with independence to run their individual initiatives, which you have been seeing for the past 5 years. And at the same time, when they are running these initiatives, they shape the careers of several people who came in the way and led to meaningful experiences. So going further, what was achieved in these 5 years? There are, of course, a lot of things that were achieved in these 5 years, but one of the major achievements that I can, not one, just if I bring the bigger picture out, then I would say the best achievements that we have had was the career development of more than 500 professionals we know in the forum, as well as many others whom we have not known were influenced indirectly. And we also on that process built a lot of platforms in the community, and we built a lot of collaborations across the board, which brought a lot of recognitions during these past 5 years. So what are the platforms that we are talking about? When you see STEMPeers, or if you visit the STEMPeers website, you will see that we have multiple initiatives going on, and these have grown into major platforms that have been recognized across the world, like our ScienceCom platforms, which include Club Sci-Ri, STEM Times, Jignasa. Chavi will be talking about that today. We have Gurukul, which is the mentor-mentee platform, which we have been running successfully and helping a lot of career transitions happening. Then we have the Facebook admins and local chapters, which are our major social media handlers, and make sure that the content on the forum is sound and engaging for a lot of members of the community. We also have multiple newsletters like the Madness newsletter, which informs a lot of subscribers about the happenings of the pharma and biotech community, from research to clinical development to FDA approvals, on a weekly basis, right to their mailbox. And also the bi-weekly newsletter, which has evolved over time, which started with informing people of what is happening in the forum, and went beyond and started creating very quality content in our community. And also this is delivered to the subscribers. Uh, then we recently started the Editor's Choice platform, which is updated on a weekly basis and is shared by a team of scientists who present weekly research of some prominent findings happening over a week. We further developed the STEMPeers Fellowship program, which I'll talk about in a while, and the summer high school intern programs, which one of our initiative, Club SIRI, has had a major influence on, where summer high school students are interned with our editors, and they produce quality science communication content during their summer break. Um, uh, while all this happens online, we also had our major in-person initiatives that started a few years back with the STEMPeers conference in Boston, then Euro STEMPeers conference started in Brno. And ever since then, we have had multiple events of these across Europe and in US. Then recently, after the post-COVID situation, we migrated into the Zoom panel discussions, which was a major step forward, because people-to-people meeting needed to continue happening, and then Zoom helped us a lot in running this uh, interactive sessions. And you have seen several of our members share the Zoom meetings, like one of these in the platform. And then finally, the business development. It is last but not the least. A lot of there is a team of people who are running this initiative and really help identify sponsors for our organization, and work with them and promote their brands, as well as helps in building the monetary support to run this whole organization. And of course, the fundraiser, which was quintessential to talk about here, because that was the major driver to create the fellowship program that we'll be talking about today. So in the way, we created a lot of collaborations that I was talking about. And as you can see over here, it is a very diverse group of collaborations we had, and not only in the context of organizations we work with, also their size. Sometimes we have just very small one-person run organization to large organizations like Memorial Sloan Kettering, and we have organized several programs with these organizations, and really proud of all the volunteers who supported us in creating an identity of STEMPeers through these collaborations. Going ahead, I'll talk about the STEMPeers Fellowships. We created these fellowships with the objective to support the awardees in their career development efforts. We realized that a lot of conventional postdoctoral and graduate training programs really do not support the trainees in attending anything beyond academic conferences or academic training, or classrooms or courses online. So this was one of the objectives, that when we create these fellowships, they should have the flexibility to spend their fellowship money in joining these conferences, which are otherwise restricted by the rules of the academic institutions. And secondly, as our objective was to create leadership opportunities within STEMPeers community. When they create their own niche, they are the leaders who are running these initiatives. So with that, we also needed some funding, and that's when our fundraiser of 2018 happened. And just to summarize, we ran two parallel platforms to collect funds from the community, the PayPal funding mechanism and the Facebook donations. As you can see, they contributed almost equally to the fundraiser, which where we raised more than $5,000 in 2018. If we just do some run of the contribution amounts, the top 10 donors are from all over the world, as you can see over here, and a majority of the contribution came from United States donors, as well as people from Europe, India, as well as from as far as from Australia as well. So we thank all the donors here today, because without whom the fellowship program, as well as several initiatives that happened after 2018, couldn't have been accomplished. If just classifying the expenses from the donations, the majority of the expenses went to the STEMPeers Fellowships. And then we had the STEMPeers website development, which is now up and running. You can check it. It was a contribution of a lot of efforts and the donations that helped us create a good website. We also filed for the STEMPeers trademark with the help of one of our members, Shyam Anand. We thank him for his efforts, and also running the Club Sarai website, the annual website hosting fee, which is regularly paid through these donations. And there were several miscellaneous expenses which were important, but we had we wanted to mention them here because the STEM Times, which is our major Instagram platform, runs with a lot of promotions that are done through social media. Also, the newsletter subscriptions that the STEMPeers organization runs is paid through these donations provided by the community. And finally, there are conference registration discounts. So when we hold our conferences in US, we keep the cost of registration very minimal for grad students and postdocs from academic institutions. And one of the major ways we can offset their cost of registration is through the donation money that we receive during our fundraisers. With that, I wanted to list the STEMPeers Fellowship awardees from last year. As you can see, they are all awesome. They have done a tremendous amount of work. And today we will have Argo and Chavi talk about their work. And with that, I will transfer the presentation to Chavi.
Thank you, Abhinav. I'll share my screen now. So is the screen visible?
Yeah.
So hello, everybody. And first of all, I would like to thank the STEMPeers team, the entire team, especially Abhinav, Anando, and everybody else, for having me here, and also for this wonderful initiative, we all can see is going on right now. So I'm Chavi, and I received the STEMPeers Fellowship and the Professor K. Muralidhar Fellowship in 2019. And this fellowship was awarded to me for the development of the educational initiative at STEMPeers, which we call as Jignasa. Now, to put in perspective where this initiative fit in my entire journey, I would just quickly show you where I come from and where I am right now. So I started my did my PhD from Indian Institute of Science in Bangalore in India, where I was a virus biochemist. And one thing to note on this slide is that I started in India and I'm back in India. And that was a personal goal. And STEMPeers in the fellowship had a lot to do with the transition that went on for me to achieve this goal personally and professionally. Like I said, I started in India, and then I, I did what I usually do, which is when I finish something, I take a step back and I ask myself, what is it that I wish to do next? And very quickly, I knew that I wanted to go into neurophysiology, which was very different from what I had done. And but I got access. I offer from NIH in Bethesda in the US, and I moved and did my postdoctorate in the US at NIH for about 5 years. And after this, again, I did what I always do. I took a step back and I asked myself, what is it that I wish to do next? And this time, I took a little longer. I had the opportunity of staying in Stockholm for about a year and a half, which I did. So I moved to Stockholm and I made a very conscious choice of not looking for an active bench scientist position. Instead, I engaged myself in a couple of things. One was I need to keep learning. I need to be always involved in something where I'm learning. So a very immediate thing which I could involve myself with was go back to school and learn Swedish. This was available to me, and it was a 4 hours a day, 5 days a week course, which I started. The remaining time I explored. And as you can all imagine, that STEMPeers being, the rock solid support for explorers like us was there. And I spent time with the people in STEMPeers. Along with that, there was also another smaller 20 people community at KTH who I would speak with. And with all of this, I realized that with my constant love and need for learning, I realized that education is the way where I want to move forward. And luckily for me, at that point in time, Anando proposed that, we should do something, STEMPeers should do something with respect to education. And I jumped in. And when I jumped in, I had no idea what I was getting myself into, because we were thinking what we decided is we would do this on the digital platform, and which meant making videos. And I had no prior training in graphics, illustrations, video production, anything. I started from scratch, which meant that I needed the resources to learn, and I needed the time time where I could where needed the time and support to learn and to explore in more deeply into education. And that is where I was also awarded this STEMPeers Fellowship, and I would go more into detail as to what ways this was helpful for me. But before moving on to that, I would want to say that this concretizing of the idea that I want to go deeper into education and formalize that path for me for the next few years until I ask myself that question again, happened because of my interaction with STEMPeers and the support that I got from the STEMPeers Fellowship. And because of that, I seeked and landed a job back in India at Indian Institute of Science, Education and Research in Pune, where I'm involved in a citizen science online education project called Manav, the Human Access Initiative. And that is where I am right now, and Jignasa is something that continues. So a quick look into what Jignasa is doing and wants to do. In Jignasa, we want to develop an education platform which offers something more than textbook. And what is that something more? That is that we want both the students and the scientists, PhD holders, or any scientist understand the entire scientific enterprise, which makes science possible in this world, and from an early on stage to be able to see the full spectrum of careers which are available in science, so that they are visible and they are also emphasized. To have a platform which allows all of this. So now we are at a stage where we started with just me and Anandu. Now we are a bigger team. We have a team of 5, and we have a scientist, we have educators, and we also have a children's journalist on our team. The content is largely video content, which we have started posting on the YouTube channel. We have been able to develop a proof of concept where our vision we have been able to translate into real content. So we are at a stage where we have a proof of concept, and we can move forward. And one of the other things is that we want to not just target and support people who understand English, but also reach out to people by developing content in multiple languages. And we don't want to do this as an afterthought. We want to do this as a very integral part. So this is what this is, and all this has happened because of the fellowships that I received and the support I received from STEMPeers in terms of fellowship and otherwise. So if I just look at STEMPeers fellowship, what is it that it has offered me? So it offered me to build my vision. And when I say build my vision, I would say build it from scratch, because starting from the time that I wrote this fellowship from STEMPeers was the opportunity for me to explore that if I want to get into education, what is it going to be? What is it exactly that I want to do? So from right there, from starting from there to learning video production and illustration and all the resources that are needed to learn all these additional skills, what the fellowship allowed me to do. It allowed me a very concrete direction, because I had a fellowship that I had written for, and I had a very targeted work that I was supposed to do. And overall, provided me an opportunity to build something. Being associated with STEMPeers already allows you to network. However, when you have fellowship and you're working in such a focused manner, there's an extra amount of confidence, amount of zing that it brings to your own networking skills. At least for me, it does. And it offered me opportunities which I would see are very easily translatable into jobs, which I had not thought of before. So that is what I would quickly go into a little bit more. First of all, it allowed me to think deeper, to go deeper into digital education. My current job is actually is something which is very related to that. Second, building a platform, as anyone on all the initiatives in STEMPeers would agree with, includes building and understanding management and leadership. So it automatically requires you to build those skills. These are the digital education and management are two of the things which I was able to carry into my and it goes back and forth between the job and engineering. I learn something here and I take it back, and it goes back and forth, and I'm constantly developing these two aspects. The third is that you learn multimedia skills. That's a whole set of skills that that fellowship allows you to do. So there's a whole skill building that you can do, which never existed or you never thought of before. And fourth, that the fellowship allowed was for me to be able to reach out. So my visibility that came through Jignasa, that came through my current job, allowed me to do outreach activities where uh, the organizations like one of the like NGOs and other organizations have called me and asked me to speak. So it automatically offers you a visibility because of the content that you put out there. And the fifth thing, which was a surprise to me, was when a biotech startup, which had seen the content that we were developing in Jignasa, they liked the way we were telling our stories. They liked the way we were building our videos. So everything that we were able to build during this fellowship period, they liked all of that, and they offered us a chance to offered me a chance to uh, develop advertising videos for them. And that is a job opportunity I would have never thought of when I was before STEMPeers Fellowship. So this is like a whole lot of difference, a whole opening of opportunities that the fellowship has allowed me and can allow so many other people. So that's it from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Chavi. That was awesome. So I think you guys have realized the use that STEMPeers Fellows are making of the fellowship amount and how they are getting trained in diverse field and becoming experts. You can follow the YouTube channel of Jignasa that Chavi has created and get to know the vast expanse of talent that exists there. So with that, I would transfer the mic to Arga. Arga, take it away.
So, am I audible properly? I'm asking.
Can you keep the microphone closer?
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can.
So, first of all, I'm extremely thankful to this community for inviting to share my work and how I utilized the fellowship and still I'm doing it. And first of all, I am making apology for that I couldn't make any slides because right now in my neighborhood the situation is very bad and I am running a company digital gadgets. So I'm importing from mobile. So I'm apologizing for that. I'm also connected to the link and so what I'll share is basically verbally. So please read me and listen to me if you wish. So before sharing my current work and the utilization of the STEMPeers Fellowship, I would like to reintroduce myself a bit because so that the new members of the program can know me better. My name is Arka Manman and I am a PhD dropout. So in 2016, I actually dropped out from my PhD another year, and I really didn't know what to do in life. Then I joined a local newspaper as a journalist. But since I was trained in science and I really wanted to build a career in art, so it was kind of a handshake of science and art. In my local area or even in my state or in my office, I really didn't find anyone so that they can get from a dream or So then, with the help of a couple of friends, even I can mention that Sumi Chakraborty is currently working in the Harvard School. He is also an active member of the STEMPeers Facebook group. And Shubhajit Shah, Shubhajit did his best from space. They actually got me introduced to the community. I really didn't know that such a community exists. So, well, in the next year, actually, I started a blog. Its name is Hello. So, is this okay?
Orko, the voice is a bit breaking up.
Now,
Yeah, I think we can hear.
okay. So, in 2018, I started my blog. His name is Drawing History of Science. And now you can search this just in Google and find this the blog. My primary agenda was I was interested in history and science as well, and art. So, since I didn't have any lab and I was working as a journalist, which is more a work related to writing and reading and designing and drawing and making readable contents. So I thought, okay, so I'll carry on my career in science in this way, theoretical. Theoretical means not doing maths, rather searching some history, how this scientific discoveries that happened, what was the background stories, is there any relation with the economy and the social factors, how all these things happen, how right now we are doing modern science. There was a background story, medieval era, and before that there was ancient era. And even I was very interested in Indian history of science because in all over the world there are many groups who are dealing with history of science. They are very prestigious groups, but their approach were very Eurocentric or American-centric, I would say. So with this agenda, I started a blog, and my primary goal was to draw to those stories, not writing in prose. And it was very weird attempt, I would say, and nobody actually, first of all, those who were surrounding me, they really didn't encourage me. It was kind of a wastage of time. But I shared my blog with the STEMPeers community and then their Facebook page. At that time, the name was ESG. Create, share, and grow. It was a beautiful name. Anyway, so within a couple of days, I was amazed. I really got offered from Samuel Street, Radhika Padmanabhan, the content director of that group, that Abhinav just a couple of minutes ago showed in his slides that Radhika is an active collaborator of the STEMPeers. And I got offered for collaboration from Ruksha. Ruksha is the editor-in-chief of Lab Sunday. So it was a, like, what I would say, really like turning moment for my career, I would say, because at that time nobody was encouraging me. So they encouraged my work and my approach to convey or to communicate science and history to them. So I started working with them, and as I started illustrating a couple of articles. I can remember the first article I illustrated was Ananna's articles. She is a microbiologist and excellent writer. So in this way, with the course of time, I started drawing and telling visual stories with Lab Sunday and the collaborator of STEMPeers science. And in the course of time, I really gained very good collaborators, friends like Diksha. Diksha is a household name in the STEMPeers, and Somdatta was the former editor-in-chief of Lab Sunday. And we become friends, and I've got many friends like Mohor. I also collaborated with Mohor in her personal blog. She wrote a beautiful article on the history of Indian mathematics, and I illustrated that story. So, in this way, the STEMPeers community was helping me to build a real it's a wave of same-minded people. And as I was doing illustrations for and making comics, science comics, and history of science comics, I do not know whether anyone from India has ever attempted that, drawing the history of science stories in format of comics. There are very handful people in the world are doing this right now, but I don't think anyone from India is doing this. It was my weird attempt, and I'm extremely thankful to STEMPeers community. They encouraged me and supported me. And then it was a really good moment for me. I actually wrote a mail to the editor of Nature India, Super Priyadarshini, whether if I could collaborate with her. It was, I got an amazing reply within a couple of minutes that I have seen your work in Clubside. I have been following your work through your blog. So I want to feature your work in Nature India. It was like being moment for me. I didn't imagine that. And within a couple of months, I got the fellowship. And if you search in Nature India's blog, the indigenous, and find my article, you will see all most of the image I have used there, or I have used as illustrations were done for clubs and STEMPeers also illustrated. So what I want to say is basically all those moments didn't come out of thin air. If there was no STEMPeers, this group and this group of authors of collaborations, I couldn't do that. So anyway, it was a really good thing. I really got good collaborations. And then I got the fellowship. And I'm coming to how I am utilizing these fellowships and amount the money, because money is a good thing, because an artist needs money. So there are a few people in this world who really want to fund art. And if it is art and science, it's again a weird thing. So anyway, so right now I have got a very prestigious project from British Library and Art and Humanities Research Council from the UK. The project was actually assigned to University of Exeter Professor Laisha Mukherjee. He's a professor of humanities and a famine and food security expert. She has been running a project on famine, drought, food security, and food science since the last 10 years. And right now, she has built the world's largest database on the food insecurity in India and England and the causes of famines. It's the largest database. It's available. It's free in their website. I'll share the links so that the STEMPeers members can display this on their Facebook page and other social media. It's really helpful. So they offered me a project which is really challenging. This is drawing the famine what happened in 1770s in the Gangetic famine. So this year is the 250th year of that catastrophe, which is the biggest famine happened in India. And whenever you search famine story, you will see a role of Churchill, the famine in Bengal during Second World War. But the biggest famine happened in India. There was a drought, and the food insecurity happened. There was a rainfall anomaly and other climatic changes happened. And economy was affected. It happened in 1770s, more than 250 years ago. So the good thing and the bad thing is British artists and other European artists, other European historians, they documented everything visually in India. India's people, Indian science, Indian culture, Indian places, Indian landscapes. But nobody ever attempted to record that film visually. So I would say I am the first one who has been researching on the famine since the last 10 months and using their database and British Library visual art database. And I'm redrawing those using my own skill to write story and blending science, stories from history, and the economic transitions and the social factors and environment, of course. So right now I'm doing these projects. So why I'm sharing this here? Because it wouldn't be possible to get this prestigious project if there was no STEMpeers Fellowship. Because when the people from Exeter and the Asia House from London, they are the partner of the exhibitions, and it was scheduled in August, and due to pandemic, it has been postponed to the next year. So it's a very good thing. So because the project has got 1 year extension, so we are doing lots of things except that drawing the 70 payments. So I'll share my works in the social media pages, STEMpeers. So you'll see that. So anyway, so what I was talking about when the Asia House, the director of Asia House, and the principal investigator of this project, Professor Mukherjee, asked me to share some of my works, and I actually shared what I have done for website. I am basically I'm the STEMpeers platform. So they really got amazed not only by my artwork, but how the whole community of STEMpeers and website is telling the stories of science. Even I can remember Professor Mukherjee asked me, so this platform is really good. What you are doing is really good. How you are using text and image and blending these things in this platform. Do something like this for me also in this HRC project. So it's a good thing for me. It was a really career turning moment because with the end of this, I have got many commissions from British Library itself, and again I am going to collaborate with Dr. Amelia Bonia. Amelia Bonia is from Heidelberg University. She has been researching in the Institute of Transcultural Studies. She is researching on the post-independent development of the value sciences in India through Birbal Sahani, Professor Birbal Sahani. We all know that where one of the value sciences in India. So I am also collaborating with her, and she also offered me to collaborate just because she got encountered with the work I did for various collaborators of STEMpeers and the websites. So in that sense, right now, how did I start it? Just in 2016, I was really curious about what should I do after dropping out from PhD in the final year. And I took a day job as a journalist. But my real goal was to communicate science and history to art. And right now, I'm getting the sense, I'm getting real recognition from the international communities. And in this, all the steps I worked with the STEMpeers community. It was not possible. It wouldn't be possible if without the help of the STEMpeers efforts. And in fact, I'm planning to write some grant for private funding so that we can expand that the radius of the collaboration, including other international faculties, other funding bodies like HRC, British Library, and STEMpeers. I am sure I can do that in future to bring those big funding bodies and institutions under an collaborative umbrella. And as a representative of the STEMpeers, other people from STEMpeers can get out of this. So I am also planning these things. And now coming to the issue of the fund, I would say it was really helpful to me monetarily, economic wise, I would say. I have to mention that because since I'm a very analog person, you can understand that since I am not even very familiar with the June thing also. So whatever I do is I used to do this in old manner, like drawing on paper, on campus and with color and not a digital person at home. So, and this thing is very costly. So, whatever I have produced, mostly not only for STEMPeers, like for other projects also, I have utilized the funds what I have got from the STEMPeers Fellowship Institutes. And through the course of time, people from India started to know me. Again, thanks to Somdata, she is from Sicily. She was the first one. She actually invited me to do a joint workshop with Ipsha Jain. So it was a fantastic workshop. And then I have got called from other various institutes. So like IIT Gandhinagar, I attended their annual public talk, and I was invited to deliver my work there. And the primary expense of that travel, I got the reimbursement, of course, from the institute, but at that time, the COVID, the pandemic was just about to start, and the flight fare was really high. And the STEMPeers community, just within within a couple of days of notice, if you can release that amount of the grant for this purpose, they really helped me. So it was a really help. So from that cognitive confidence, I got again more collaborations from that very institute and the other institute from across India. So right now I have worked for the communication officer, National Center for Biological Science also. And I am honorary research fellow of Archive at the National Center for Biological Science. I am developing a couple of projects with Venkat Srinivasan from National Center for Biological Science. And I have, it's basically after getting the STEMPeers grant in India, I have got a parallel community. Like there are many members there. We used to discuss, we used to brainstorm almost every week. Then I think that Somdata, Iksha, and there are other peoples. We used to discuss critical things so that we can write projects. It could be helpful to the community, and I can use my artistic skill, journalistic skill, and my interest in history, and other people who have run their archive, they can use their skills. So in this way, a parallel community is building up in India. It's very slow and it's very nascent from I would say, but I'm sure the people can carry forward this thing so that within 5 years or 6 years it can take a real form. And of course, this would be possible if only because at the very initial moment, STEMPeers was there for me and also for other people also. So, in this way, I would say the STEMPeers Fellowship really was a turning moment for me. And right now, I haven't achieved much, but I'm really confident now so that now I can pay back to the community. I can influence people. I can inspire people using my drawings, my experience. I'm more confident, and so that I can say to people that if you're doing a PhD and you're getting dropped out, because this problem is real high in this nowadays. People are attempting suicide. It's a really sad thing. They are getting depressed. It's very complex phenomena, very deep things. I don't want to go into that. But still, if some people are getting depressed and they are searching out what should they do, so I can tell them at least you can do something else if you have that skills. And there are people you can go and reach out. So I think in this way, I'll pass on the baton what I have got from the STEMPeers and fellowship program, of course. And I'll finish this mentioning the one thing. I have wrote in the STEMPeers application that I have a dream project, which is documenting community science. So this, I wrote them. I want to call this project Science for the City. So basically, we tell more than 16,000, 1,600, if I'm not wrong about the number anyway. There are lots of people in these platforms with the members, and they are from various cities, various states, countries. They have they are carrying the legacy of the local science run by the craftsmen, by the artisans, and the other pupils. So we need to document that, which is at the periphery of the central point of scientific world. These people are residing at the periphery. We need to document that because when a couple of years ago, Kamala Smith wrote a book. The name is Body of the Artisans. Kamala Smith is the chairman of Science and Society of Columbia University. And so in her book, she wrote that the artisans, the craftsmen, and the scientists. So I am feeling that since I am from the suburbs and in a very old city, which is Calcutta, which India is a very good country. So the people need to collect the stories about the craftsmen, about the artisans, the makers. So I wrote a small part. I mentioned a small part of that GEM project in the STEMPeers grant application. So I had, what I want to say, I have utilized a small portion of the grant, collecting materials so that I can carry forward this research, like buying books and like traveling around the Greater Bengal and collaborating with various other like Asiatic Society, collecting the old documents. So right now I think I am sort of equipped to carry out work. It could be done by June. It was my target of 2020, but unfortunately pandemic started and my travel stopped and I was compelled to stop drawing. So anyway, so I hope that this situation can come out from the situations and within a couple of months I can show you people what I was seeing this project, how I was seeing this project, so that I can inspire other people who are members of the STEMPeers. They can work on their own community, or own indigenous people, own craftsmen, who actually help to build scientific world. So that's it. So now I am using the grant and how it is helpful to me. So thank you.
Thank you, Arga, and thank you, Chavi. As you can see, all the showcase of talent that Argo and Chavi did, for a career, it always takes a village, and it was not only the support that came from the financial resources that we provided them through the donations made by this community. There was a lot of support from the network of STEMPeers, like Argo mentioned about IPSA, from the building their network and spreading the word about his work and giving him that recognition that matters. And same is the case with Chavi. When she moved to India, a lot of people were not even looking at a PhD to get into digital education and use that platform and develop a complete uh, entrepreneurship effort out of it and getting recognized for science advertising. These are some of the new initiatives which we really want a lot of PhDs and postdocs in our forum to think about when they are imagining their or reimagining their careers. With that, I would like to congratulate all the STEMPeers community for reaching this milestone of 5th year. And in the coming weeks, you will hear more from our volunteers and how they are bringing about a change with the recognition and the efforts they are putting in to build this community as well as build their careers. So thank you for joining us on a Saturday morning on the East Coast. I know it's very early on the West Coast in US, but it was a very nice time for India. Like Arga and Chavi both are joining from India, and it's evening there. So we are really happy that they got a very nice time to talk about this thing on a Saturday evening. So hopefully you guys get inspired by people like Chavi and Arga, where their stories are really life-changing, and there are many things that you get to learn when you hear these new leaders coming up in our community, and hopefully you will implement it in your career development efforts as well. So thank you so much for listening, and hope you have a great weekend. Take care, guys. Bye.
Thank you, Abhinav. Thanks, everyone.